What's the worst thing your ex ever did to your child? I was at work when Nick called me, his voice cold and furious, during our daughter's weekend at his house. Anya stole my neighbor's car last night and crashed it into a tree. There's over $15,000 in damage and Mrs. Silverman is calling the police. My blood went cold. I told Nick I'd be right over and spent the entire drive wondering how my honor student daughter could have done something so reckless. When I arrived at Nick's house, Anya was sitting on the couch looking completely devastated. The moment she saw me, she jumped up and ran over. Mom, I swear I didn't steal anyone's car. I was inside watching movies all night. She was shaking, and I could see the genuine confusion in her eyes. My husband's wife, Farah, walked into the room with her arms crossed, followed by her 12-year-old son, Hunter. The security footage doesn't lie, Farah said coldly. Mrs. Silverman showed us the video of Anya taking her car at 3 a.m. last night. Nick nodded grimly. I'm disappointed in her, but I'm not surprised. She's been acting out lately, probably because she's jealous of the attention Hunter gets when she's here. I looked at my daughter, who was staring at them like they'd lost their minds. Anya, did you steal Mrs. Silverman's car? Anya said no, and Farah rolled her eyes. Of course she's going to lie to you. Teenage girls will say anything to avoid consequences, but I'd raised Anya for 15 years. I believe her, I said simply. Nick's face went red. We have video evidence of $15,000 in damage. I told them we were leaving. Nick informed me that Anya wouldn't be welcome back for visits until she admitted what she'd done and paid for the damages. He said he wasn't going to have a car thief in his house, setting a bad example for Hunter. That week was brutal for Anya. Word had gotten out about the car theft accusation, and kids at school were calling her Grand Theft Anya. She barely ate, stayed in her room most of the time, and kept asking me if I really believed her. I called Mrs. Silverman and asked if I could see the footage myself. She agreed, and when I watched it, something immediately struck me as wrong. The person in the video was too short to be Anya, and they were wearing clothes I'd never seen her wear. I called Nick and asked him to walk me through exactly what had happened that night. He got defensive and told me to stop playing detective, that the evidence was clear. But something wasn't adding up. I'd noticed that Hunter had been acting strange lately, and Farah always made excuses when he got caught doing things he shouldn't. He'd been getting into trouble at school for aggressive behavior, but Nick always found ways to blame other kids. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Mrs. Silverman. She said another neighbor caught Hunter trying to break into her car with a coat hanger. When she'd confronted him, he'd bragged about getting away with it before, and how his parents always blamed other kids when he did bad things. I called Nick immediately. Hunter's been caught trying to steal other people's cars. He's the one who stole Mrs. Silverman's car. Nick's voice was ice cold. You're really going to blame a 12-year-old boy to protect your lying daughter? But I had witnesses now. I arranged to meet with Nick and Farah at their house, and I brought the neighbor who'd caught Hunter. She explained what Hunter had told her about getting away with car theft before. That's when Farah made a mistake. She started getting defensive about how Hunter was just confused and didn't understand what he was saying. But then she slipped up and said, besides, even if he did take that car, he's just a little boy. Anya should have been watching him better. Nick's face went white. Farah, shut up, but it was too late. Farah broke down and admitted everything. She said Hunter had snuck out while everyone was sleeping and stolen the car because he was angry about something Mrs. Silverman had said to him earlier. They'd seen him come back inside with scratches on his face from the crash. But when Mrs. Silverman showed them the security footage the next morning, they decided to say it was Anya to protect Hunter. Nick looked completely defeated. He admitted they'd been afraid Hunter would get in serious trouble with the police if they told the truth. They thought it would be easier to let Anya take the blame since she was older and could handle it better. Nick begged Anya to forgive him and come back for visits, but she told him she needed time to think about it. She said she wasn't sure she could trust him anymore if he was willing to let her be blamed for crimes she didn't commit. It took months before Beatrix was willing to stay overnight at her father's house again. She made it clear that she'd never feel comfortable around Farah, who had been so eager to throw her under the bus. And Nick had to accept that his relationship with his daughter had been permanently damaged by his willingness to sacrifice her to protect Hunter. The whole experience taught me that sometimes the people who should love your child the most are the ones most willing to destroy them to protect their own interests.